How do we select a movie to watch in the theater? Going to a movie always contains a risk of leaving us with the feeling of wasting our money if we don't like the film we pay for. So it's worth analyzing how we choose which movies we will pay for. On the very surface, many people go with star power. Some moviegoers will select a movie simply because an actor they love is in it, regardless of the plot or other elements. If you are watching this channel on YouTube, which is mainly about movie analysis, you probably don't do this. This is much more of a casual decision that's kind of made last minute or right before someone goes to the theater. For example, some of these actors are Will Smith, Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, Robert Downey Jr., and even Matt Damon. These people are good actors, but they aren't always in good movies. Another common decisive factor is the trailer. I'm sure we all know by now, a trailer can be made to look great, but result in a lackluster movie. Trailers can even change the entire tone of a movie. They can give you the wrong idea. A good example is a movie I recently watched called The Free State of Jones, which starred Matthew McConaughey. I went in expecting a movie that would mainly be centered on the Civil War, and it ended up being more of a biopic with a ton of content that takes place after the war is actually over. So although I still liked the movie, I had a very different idea than the trailer gave me when I was going in. This brings us to the most widely believed system, the critic. Whether you get your reviews from a news outlet or a YouTube channel, many of us depend on a preferred critic. This is a decent idea, but it is very rare to find a critic who will always agree with our personal opinion. There will be times when that select critic or these select couple of critics don't like a movie that you may end up completely liking. Many will therefore use the alternative, which is the general critical response. This does well to eliminate the variable of a couple of critics, but it opens the door to trends. Especially when it comes to highly anticipated movies, critics tend to influence one another. This can lead us to these polarizing splits between critics and general audiences, as we saw recently with both Suicide Squad and Batman vs. Superman. My personal favorite determination is to look at the director. The director is someone who is essentially in charge of a movie, and they will stamp their name on the movie when it's finished. Certain directors demonstrate a high level of consistency, such as Steven Spielberg, Christopher Nolan, Quentin Tarantino, and Ridley Scott. However, that still doesn't mean that they will not miss. To diminish this risk further, we should return to looking at the actors, but rather than looking for how popular they are or their star power, we should look at how consistent their movie choices have been. Some examples of people who choose films wisely are Matthew McConaughey's more recent films, Daniel Day-Lewis, Jessica Chastain, Rooney Mara, and Edward Norton. If we combine these actors who make these good decisions with directors who usually direct solid films, the likelihood of us picking a film that ends up being very good increases significantly. So to put this into practice, let's take a look at some upcoming films. I'm going to start with movies that had trailers that had some potential. So The Magnificent Seven. This is directed by Antoine Fuqua, who directed Training Day, Southpaw, Shooter, and Brooklyn's Finest. These are all movies that I liked personally. The film stars Ethan Hawke and Denzel Washington, who have done some amazing work. It also has Chris Pratt, but I wouldn't consider Chris Pratt's presence in this type of film to be as important as Ethan Hawke or Denzel Washington. That's not to say that I don't like Chris Pratt. It's simply saying that he has usually stuck to large blockbuster type movies. So in order to kind of seek that dramatic element, I'm going to value people who've had more films in that respect. The trailer does not completely sell me for The Magnificent Seven, but the director and the actors do. Therefore, I will most likely see this movie. On the other hand, the movie Deepwater Horizon is a movie directed by Peter Berg. He directed Lone Survivor and The Kingdom, which I did like, but he also directed The Rundown, Battleship, and Hancock. And to me, these three films are definitely not on the level of film that I am looking to see. So it kind of makes me question the consistency of the director. Mark Wahlberg is an actor that I believe is very capable of doing dramatic roles, but he also chooses movies that can falter. So both the director and the lead actor in this movie have demonstrated somewhat of a lack of consistency, so I will probably skip Deepwater Horizon. So that's just a quick way that I look at upcoming films and which films I want to see in the theater. How do you guys determine if a movie is worth paying for?
Watch me now, watch me now, watch me now, watch me now, watch me now. Now on your name.